So, what actually got you started into MMA?
Everybody's favorite, Royce Gracie. Royce. And this is how I knew my career was coming to an end, because I had, this is wild. I remember watching him beat Chemo with the armbar. And I remember practicing it. Like, how in the heck did he beat him? Just going ballistic in my own house, right? And I remember after I rewinded the VCR tape so many times to figure out how he did it, I started emulating it on the ground like a shadow wrestle type of thing. Like, he must have did it like this, right? And so I try to patent that as my move, because I was like, man, I want to beat everybody like that. And so I go down there and I fight, what was his name? Shiboe. It's Tiro Shiboe, Japanese, from Japan. And who else would be front row seats? Royce Gracie.
Oh,
and,
really?
Shit you not. Right?
Damn.
And I remember walking out, and usually I'm always using my intro music to set me off. Boom, click, go, let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's my light switch. And I remember, plain as day, still right now, turning it on my head because they didn't play. You just had to walk out.
Mm.
And I remember, and boom, I remember hearing it in my head. And I was like, oh. And I'm going out there and I'm bobbing. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I walk out there, and it didn't take no time. First round, we just set it on fire. Boom. And second round, I ended up catching him with the armbar.
Oh, nice.
Crazy. Yeah.
Did you know that Royce was in the crowd before you walked out there?
I did actually, because at the end of the fight, I looked at him and I pointed and I was like, yeah, motherfucker, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we actually, at the end of the night, we had like the fighters got together and we had like a drink and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was dope as shit, you know, and I got to kick it, have a drink and stuff.
With Royce?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's dope.
He didn't drink, but I sit next to him with my drink.
Yeah.
And this is what was more astounding, man. It seemed like he was more interested in me than I was in him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was where I was like, dude, shit, this is really weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was still starstruck.
Yeah, I'll bet. What kind of do you remember the conversation you guys had?
Oh, I just asked him about Chemo.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, bro, that motherfucker was on steroids.
All the steroids.
I swear he was on all of them. And it was a blessing, man. That was dope. That was dope. So,
yeah, because for people that don't know, he came out to that fight with that big ass cross, right?
Yeah, Chemo.
Yeah, he carried that cross, and then he went. Yeah. He went the. Did Royce submit him, or they went to? I think Royce submitted him. Did he?
With an armbar, but he could not come back through exhaustion.
Yeah, and then Chemo came out and celebrating like he beat him, but you just got submitted when he celebrated.
No doubt, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was dope.
So is that probably your fondest memory of MMA?
Yeah, that is.
Awesome.
That is, yeah.
So who was your coach that like started training you in MMA?
James Klingerman.
Okay.
James Klingerman. And Daryl Smith, Joe Blanton. I was really just a punching bag for those guys, but you know, eventually I learned, and once I learned, I just like, why aren't y'all keep coming up? Come on, let's go. They got a little bit older because they already had a whole bunch of fights before me, so it was my turn. So
yeah, that's usually how it starts out. You get beat up until you can swim, and then you're good. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So after your MMA career, you transitioned to just purely jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was hard. It was easier on the joints, but I was like, man, I just don't want to get punched anymore. So I was like, let me go ahead and try this jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and how was that transition mentally from having to prepare for MMA all that time, and then now you're just doing jiu-jitsu?
It was hard because MMA is about a straight up fight. It's real technical. But jiu-jitsu is about structure. You know what I'm saying? And you want structure. And I came in wild. I just had an unbelievable fight. So you got to think, as a blue belt, I was fighting black belts at fighting. So anybody that they set in front of me as a blue belt, I was just terrorizing, just running through them. They were like, well, shit, let's hurry up and get him a belt ranking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that would be the difference between them.
So when you have your practices here, because you're a coach now, do you structure your classes like if they were preparing for an MMA fight, or do you structure it more towards pure jiu-jitsu?
I structure towards self-defense.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer that everybody knows how to fight, right? Even my kids, even a baby, they know how to fight. You hold them down, they know how to fight, right?
Okay.
But what makes it really valuable is thinking and fighting at the same time, right? So after I teach them how to fight, then I start slowly implementing the basics to them. They are already levels ahead where, if they stay with it for 3 to 6 months, they're competing with guys that are dang near purple belts and they're 4-stripe whites.
Yeah.
It's just it's a different approach where I control the aggression in people. If I can control their aggression in people, I can structurally put them together later once I can show them how to control themselves.
Yeah, you brought that up that your guys are competing at higher levels than what their rank is, and I noticed that like whenever you go to tournaments or whatever, and they see that they're a Team Pitbull guy, they're like, oh, this is gonna be a tough match or whatever. So
they already know,
yeah.
Right?
So what does that mean to you to have that reputation of just producing killers?
Well, it's cool, but it's really, for the self-defense, I mean, it doesn't do me no good. It's just when I see somebody come in, I know I'm like, man, I was that same inferior person and scared, I get it. So let me show them how to fight, and then put endurance with the fight. Then once they find that they can fight for a long time, okay, we're gonna add some defense to that fight. Then we're gonna defense with endurance for a long time. Then we're gonna structuralize your attack.
Okay. Now, with your students, do you just specialize on the gi only, or do you work no gi as well?
No gi and gi. We do them both.
If you had your choice, what would you do? No gi or gi? Like if you can only choose one.
Gi.
Gi.
Yeah.
Why would you pick the gi over no gi?
It's a better workout.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can transition by just not grabbing as much.
Okay. There's a lot of people that say that the gi isn't practical in a fight. What would your response be to that?
I'm gonna choke the fuck out of you. For real. I will. I use your hoodie. I do it all. I use a regular shirt. I don't care. I use my shirt. I use your pants. I'll tear them bitches off and choke you with them.
I remember we were at Rocky Francis' gym one day, and you had a student in there. We were going no-gi, and he had a hoodie, and you actually choked him with his hoodie. So, I remember. Did you say that? Yeah, I remember you doing that. Man. Yeah, that was so funny. So, what was your hardest fight when you were? Who would you say was your hardest fight when you were in MMA?
The hardest fight and still come out with a victory would be Waylon Lowe. that guy pounded me. I mean, pounded me. We was fighting for hook and shoot. And I just remember striking a couple punches in the air, like I was shadow boxing, and I was taken down and just beaten to a smithereens.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he just beat me the whole round. It was like I was so scared to come out the second round. Right? It was like, Rocky, you don't have to go out there. Cut me, Mick. I swear. But I figured out he gave me all he could in the first round. Mm-hmm. And I hung on. And some bystander out in the crowd was like, kick him! And I threw a head kick just with everything on it. Go, bam! And dropped him to his knees. And he shot on me, got the takedown. And he fell into an arm-in guillotine.
Oh, nice.
Finished him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say was your hardest fight where you didn't win?
Oh, man. Hardest fight that I didn't win. Wow. You got me digging in there.
It's so good. Take your time. You had a lot of fights, man. I know.
Man,
yeah.
Out of 67, right?
Yeah.
Hardest fight that I didn't win. Man, I can't even call him.
Really?
I can't even call him. Yeah. Well, nope, I can't call it. Hardest fight I didn't win.
Yeah. No, that's all good, man.
No.
I was talking with Adam, and he was telling me that there was a fight that you had where you were beating the brakes off a guy, and I think he said you put him in an armbar or something, and he screamed, and they stopped the fight, and then they let it start up again. You remember that fight?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what that was.
He says you were just beating the brakes off of him.
Yeah, I forgot that brother's name. But he was a hometown favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and it was out of Wisconsin. Mind you this, though, it was back when we were still doing pride rules. So, yeah.
So soccer kicks and everything was legal.
Soccer. Yeah. So, yeah, I remember that. But that wasn't like the hardest fight. Because I told him, I was like, shit, he lost.
Yeah.
I submitted him, and how you want to try to replay this after he done...
I'm surprised you didn't just walk out of the cage after that.
No, I argued it and told him, like, take that up with the commission, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when you yell like that, that's a verbal submit. Yeah.
He was done.
Yeah.
He was done, full blown. If I had to, wasn't nice, I could have took it. Really, just go home, go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But, that was, boy, y'all been rapping, boy.
Yeah,
That's good, because you know what? Sometimes y'all don't let me forget shit. I'm like, damn, I remember that.
So would you say that was probably your biggest injustice in a fight?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, because they didn't give me that fight. They didn't even put it on shirt or on thing. So, yeah.
So you beat him the whole fight. You put him in the armbar. He verbally submits,
right.
And they still give him the victory.
No, they didn't give him the victory. They just made it like a no contest.
What round was it?
This was the first round. Yeah.
That's terrible. That falls on the ref right there, I'd say.
No. That falls right on the promoter, because the promoter was betting everything on him.
Oh,
you know what I'm
I got you.
So
you were main eventing then?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, at that time, it's probably crazy. Even if I would take a fight right now, I would probably be co-main event or main event.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, off of your reputation alone, yeah.
And they know I still got the bite.
I was getting ready to ask you that. Do you still have the itch to fight every now and then?
No, I just got the. I'm trying to preserve the it that was in to transmit it to other guys, just to let them start playing with it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to raise them up like that. If you're gonna fight like this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then once they get that picture of what I like to call it, when they get that rub, they're good to go. Then I can teach them.
My brother Adam, he used to train with you a while ago. Was he one of your first students? Or yeah, and he told me that if you want to work striking, get with Dave because he knows all the angles. He knows how to get in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you to have, people know, hey, if you want to work jiu-jitsu and striking, if you want to get your game up, go to David Love.
Right. And it feels good, man. It feels like I put in some study time. You know what I'm saying? I had a student come up to me the other day. I'm not gonna throw no other coaches out underneath the bus, but he was like, man, I went to this one guy, man, and I was there for about 6 months. 6 months. I come here and every 10 minutes with Dave, and he teaches me how to kick, and I couldn't even learn how to kick in 6 months with that guy. I was like, but I asked myself, do I blame them for being a good fighter but not a good coach? Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because some people can't make that transition.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you've done it very well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think helped you make that transition well from fighter to coach? Because like I said, most people can't do that.
My losses.
Your losses.
My losses.
Mm.
My losses. I think, especially when guys come up and they say, "Hey, Dave, I want to fight," and I'm like, "Okay, let me know when you want me to fight." I'm like, "No, you tell me when you're ready to go," and then I'm going to give you all the symptoms that are going to come with being a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to explain them to you, and I'm going to walk you through them. So, need that to be said. Once they figure that I'm not playing and they can't throw no bullshit at me, you know what I'm saying? I can show them simple shit, I can just show them simple shit and they can just take it and run with it.
What was your training schedule like back when you were fighting? Like, you wake up, what do you do after that?
Literally, I only had me and my shadow, right? And so I always ask with them, how should I play this? How should I do this? How can I get on these guys' level? As far as being in these guys that are high level, how do I get on their level? Shit, I gotta treat this like a job. So I remember starting at KFC full time, putting in just a couple hours of training. But I was so passionate about this fighting that I was like, man, I need more time. So I went down to part-time. Then the part-time started me a little friction moving forward to where I wanted to go. So what do you figure? Part-time is how many hours a week?
Probably like 20, maybe.
20 hours.
Yeah.
So break that up in seven days.
Yeah.
Well, really 6. So 20 hours and 6. That's a little less than 4 hours. Well, yeah, less than 4 hours. It's like 3 and a half, 3 something, whatever. And so I was like, all right, I can do this part-time, but I have to do 3 hours a day for 6 days. Day of rest, right? Having the rest day until I can go full-time. Then once I quit KFC, I went full-time. Then everything started going up to 5 hours, 6 hours a day, just doing varieties of stuff. where I'm studying, training, and doing everything. And that's when I really made leaps and bounds. You know, starting to turn heads and stuff. You know, but Father Time caught up with me. So
yeah, when you went on that 20-0 run, what were you thinking in your head? Like, what was your mindset with that?
Beat. That's why it's hard for me to watch this fucking fight with Islam and Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know where Charles is at. Oh, my God, I know. And you're like, I'm going to just beat him. I'm going to beat him. It was so bad. Look, this is how bad this is. When somebody's on a roll like that, it doesn't matter who in the fuck. They feeling themselves. They're literally feeling themselves. And I remember fighting this guy in Dave Strasser's show, Sergio Martinez, Bellator fighter. I mean, WEC fighter. He was a fucking terrorist there. And I remember my instructor, not my instructor, but my manager, Chad Wagner, he was like, we were driving, and we was on our way back from Florida or somewhere. He's like, man, Dave Strasser got another fight for you if you want to take it. He said, it's up to you. I was like, yes, tell him I'll do it. Right? You don't want to know who it is? No, I'm good. So eventually I found out who he was and stuff. So I took me, my girlfriend, I don't know if you remember Jason Bird.
Birdman, yeah.
Birdman, yeah, he went there and with me. Or up there. Went up in there and got into it. We fought. I beat the cat. And I came back. Me and Chad had some type of gathering, some type of meeting or something, whatever. And he says, Dave, how'd that fight do? I said, all fucking nonchalant. I was like, I won. And I turned and looked at his reaction, and he was like, really? I said, yep. And he just kept driving. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, I wonder what this motherfucker's thinking right now. This motherfucker didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where Charles is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say Islam's probably there too, isn't he? He's undefeated. He's on a roll.
It's different. It's different when they set names in front of you, though. It's different. It's different.
Like, you mean like it's different when you're the champ, or like?
It's different when you're on that fucking wave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that motherfucker decides to get on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what type of confidence he's riding on. I felt it. You know what I'm saying? I know that feeling. And man, I think it's gonna be a hard one, man.
When that 20-fight win streak was broken, how did you feel after that?
I got robbed.
Oh, really? You got robbed in that fight?
Yeah. I forgot the cat's name. Keith. I forgot. Alan Stockman cornered him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was fucking him up. I really don't see how he won the fight. I really don't.
That was that fight that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, so that broke your record right there?
That broke my record. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Oh,
Judge's
man.
decision. Judge's descenders.
Man.
So I was like, I just fluck it off, you know. But something, this is what's weird. You know when it's coming to an end and you're going to have to go back and redo some shit. Because something was like, don't take it. And I remember saying to myself, I got one more in me before I take the rest. But I just wanted to keep on going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt it. I felt that invincible up in there. Motherfucker, I learned how to win. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You can't stop this now. So I know exactly where he's at, you know? And it's wild. It's wild. It's a wild feeling because you just don't want to stop, but the body's like, man, hey, chill, calm down. We can get back, but we need to go back and repair ourselves. And I didn't listen.
Mm.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened in that fight. Or
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I won the fight. But something told me, don't fight. Don't fight.
Yeah,
Chill.
yeah.
Take a rest. And I didn't listen.
Mm. Yeah.
So, and it was a real loud. It was a crazy voice. It's almost like if I say, I'm gonna hold numbers up right now, and in your brain, without saying it out your mouth, this is what I heard.
3.
Just that clear in my head. Take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my fault. I should have listened. You know, should have listened. I've probably been still fighting today.
So you've been a black belt for what, a year now?
Mm-hmm.
So how would you compare that accomplishment? Would you say that's your biggest accomplishment in all the combat sports? All the whole 20 fight run, the titles you've won. How would that compare to receiving your black belt?
The black belt signifies a job well done for me doing all that stuff that I did, like for all my career, including the jiu-jitsu, you know. It was like, all right, cool. I can relax now, become a coach, chill, learn some shit, learn how to be a better coach, you know, be off in that direction. Still get my work in and still probably take some type of tournament fights here and there. But yeah, that's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm. So you said that you still have that grit in you. If somebody were to ask you, "Hey, Dave, we got a fight coming up in 2 months, 3 months, whatever," would you take it?
Conor McGregor, show me the money. Show me.
Yeah, it would take quite a bit of money then for that, huh?
You got to do something that's gonna make me work.
What about a combat jiu-jitsu match?
Yeah, I could do that.
You could do that?
I could probably do that.
Would you take a lot of money for that, or would it be just your normal fee?
A combat jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, because there are strikes involved, but it's just on the ground. Are you familiar with combat jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking, do I want to get punched or be the one?
It's just open hand slaps. Yeah, just open hand slaps, palm strikes.
I mean, I could. Guys been getting put out like that though.
Yeah, there have been a lot of knockouts. Yeah.
Right. Man. I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah, it would have to be the right opponent, the right amount of,
Yeah. Somebody's on his way out the door too.
I got you. You don't want to face no young.
No, I'm over that.
Yeah.
Even though, man, sometimes I get these guys up in here and I'll be like, shit, I can still hang with these motherfuckers.
Yeah, shit. I know you fucked me up. We rode several times. Yeah.
I mean, like guys that are doing it. You know what I'm saying? I remember competing with this one young guy, and I was already like, seemed like 20 years his elder, and he's top of the grit, man. I mean, he's fucking going to worlds. He's doing shit. I remember fucking just taking him up fucking to the underworld and telling him to fight back. And that motherfucker, he fought back. He ended up winning, but he got walked off that mat like, God damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just looked at him and was like, yeah, you know, that's what I do. Yeah, for real.
So I was talking to Lorenzo Trevino the other day at IBG, and he was telling me the story about how he got hooked up with IBG, that you actually told him about it and got him hooked up with that. How did you get hooked up with the people from IBG?
Pat McPherson. Yeah, I like Pat, man.
I like him too.
He's just an all-around good guy. I like Pat. Man, it was back when Chad Wagner, he invited Pat McPherson and Chris Lytle over. Chris Lytle was fighting Robbie Lawler at the time, and he needed to use the cage to get that experience, that ring cage rust off, whatever. And I was happy to be one of the guys he get to punch.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat was there, and just had that connection from there. You know, he was like, "Hey, come down and train." I was like, "All right, don't train.
Yeah.
I'll be there." So I went down there a few times, and it was cool.
Yeah, I was out there the other day, and it just like completely opened my eyes. I was like, "Oh, this is how a pro practice is structured, huh?" It's like it was so wild. Yeah.
They get at it.
Yeah,
man. They get at it. You know?
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about those guys.
Yeah, everybody got its own way of teaching, but that's not how I train MMA. When I went down to Jackson's, they did it the same way. It's the same way as Pat. It was just a harder style. Some people like that, fight ready by fighting each other in the gym. But my little frail self couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my fight built up through conditioning and just being able to hit that switch of fuck it, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To make my fight high. I think that's what preserved me as long as I did during my career too. And I had so many.
When you went down to Jackson's, was that when Jackson's was Jackson's and they had just everybody down there?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to spar with any top level guys out there?
Yeah. Donald Cerrone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, how'd that go?
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Oh, that was brutal. He hit me with his patented knee. I started teeing off on him and shit, and
were you going hard?
I wasn't going hard. I was just teeing off on him, beating him to the punch, getting in there. And little do I know, he was just taking downloads. He was just downloading my time. And man, I ran into one of those patented knees of his. Bang!
Oh man.
Yeah, floored me. I was like, ah! Ah! I can remember rolling out the cage onto the step that you get onto the cage.
Oh wow.
And I just sat there like, God damn. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. And I remember him getting out the cage after I rolled out. Somebody else jumped in there because he was getting that work for his fight.
Was he in WEC then? Or UFC already?
He was in the UFC already.
Okay.
Yeah. And after he ran through a couple guys, I'm still there like, oh! And I remember the pain just settled in and went away. And he comes up on my head and just grabs it and was like, shakes it. I was like, good job. I was like, what the fuck ever? That hurt. That hurt so bad.
Was he probably the highest level, biggest name guy you've sparred with, or was there other people you sparred with as well?
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. If you have anything you want to plug or anything you want to say before we end the interview?
For whoever wants to try jiu-jitsu or MMA, always remember this. One of my old instructors had said this. He says, it's going to be hard before it's easy. You just got to keep on pushing through to it. You just got to keep on the path. Yeah. That's so. The hidden message there is get the fucking work.
Yeah.
Get the fucking work and just stay driven. And if people can't keep up, you know you shouldn't be there.